Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt off? Like everyone loves this person, everyone's vibing, but you're sensing something that nobody else is picking up. And you start questioning yourself. Is it just me? Am I being judgmental? Am I overthinking? What if I told you that's a gift? Today, we're kicking off a 7-week series on motivational gifts, and we're starting with one that is probably the most misunderstood, the gift of prophecy. Let's dive in. Okay, so when most people hear prophecy, they think, oh, that's someone who predicts the future. No, that's not it. Oh, that's someone who has visions and dreams. Okay. And that's the super spiritual person in the prayer room. Okay. And while prophecy can include those things, not the predicting the future, because we don't predict. We don't predict. We don't do that. Okay. Know the difference between predictions and what God gives us to speak to someone. Okay. Prediction gives magic vibes, and we're not into that. Okay. Okay. Cool. It's more about perceiving, right? It's the ability to see things clearly, especially spiritual truths, people's motives, and situations from what they really are. Romans 12:6 says, we have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us. If your gift is prophesying, then prophecy in accordance with your faith. The gift of prophecy is about discernment. It's about seeing what others don't see yet. And here's what makes this gift unique. People with the gift of prophecy can walk into a room and immediately sense the spiritual atmosphere. They pick up on when something's off about a person, even if everyone else seems to love them. When a decision looks good on paper but feels wrong in the spirit. When someone's words don't match their heart. When there's deception, manipulation, or hidden motives. And because they see it so clearly, they often speak up about it, which is why people with the gift of prophecy are often misunderstood. Drop a comment right now if you've ever felt like something was off and no one else picked up on it. Because if that's you, you might have the gift of prophecy, and that's a gift. So let me tell you a real example from my own life, because y'all know that's how I do, okay? Because even though my primary gift is exhortation, I've experienced this kind of discernment. I literally just talked about this on my podcast. So if you have not checked out that episode, I would love for you to go do that. You're going to get something from it. So there have been times when I've walked into a room or met someone and immediately fell off. All of a sudden, I'm like, I can either immediately feel nauseous, I can immediately get a headache, like things would just feel off. I could feel it literally in my spirit, just something shifted. Everyone else, however, is just like kikiing, having the best time, loving this person that I just randomly was like, oh no, like, what is that? And I'm questioning myself, like, what's wrong with me? Why am I being so critical? This person seems to be great, but I don't know what is happening, right? But then a few weeks later, or maybe a few months later, the truth comes. The motives were wrong. The character wasn't what it seemed. The fruit revealed what was hidden. Okay? The fruit revealed what was hidden. And I'm sitting there like, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I felt it. That's the gift of prophecy in action. Now, does that mean that every time you feel off about someone that they're evil? No, not at all. Sometimes it's your stuff, your triggers, your wounds, your biases. But when you have the gift of prophecy, there's patterns. You discern things consistently. And over time, you learn to trust the things that you are sensing. Here's what the people who have the gift of prophecy need to understand. Your discernment is not a burden, it's a gift. Yes, it can feel heavy. Yes, it can be isolating, when you see things that others don't see. Yes, it can make you feel like the negative one in the room, but God gave you this gift for a purpose. You're not being judgmental, you're being discerning. That's the difference. Judgment says, I don't like this person. Discernment says, something's not right here. I need to pay attention. And in business and leadership, ministry, and life, that gift is critical. So let's talk about how the gift of prophecy shows up in business and leadership, because this isn't just a church gift, it's a practical gift. In business, people with the gift of prophecy are the ones who can tell when a deal looks good on paper, but feels like it's wrong in their gut, and they're usually right. Discern which team members are there for the vision and which ones are only their paycheck. Problems before they become crisis. Cut through the fluff and get to the truth of the situation. They aren't swayed by smooth talk or charisma. They see fruit, they see character, they see motives. This makes them invaluable in leadership, but also frustrating to work with if you aren't comfortable with their directness. In leadership, leaders with the gift of prophecy set high standards because they see the potential in people and situations. Speak truth even when it's unpopular. They care more about what's right than what's comfortable. Protect the vision by discerning what aligns and what doesn't. Call out compromise quickly. The downside, if they're not balanced, they can come across as too critical, too black and white, harsh or judgmental, impatient with people who don't see what they see. But when the gift of prophecy is balanced and mature, it's one of the most powerful gifts in business and leadership, because you need someone who can see clearly, speak truth, and protect the integrity of the vision. Drop a comment. Do you think you have the gift of prophecy, or maybe you work with someone who does? Let me know. Let's talk about how to steward the gift of prophecy well. So if you have the gift of prophecy, or if you're leading someone who has the gift of prophecy, here's how to steward it well. Number 1, balance with love. Ephesians 4:15 says, speaking the truth in love. Just because you see something clearly doesn't mean you have to speak on it harshly. Discernment without compassion is just criticism. Number 2, don't assume everyone sees what you see. Just because it's obvious to you doesn't mean it's obvious to someone else. Be patient. Explain. Give people time to catch up to what you're discerning. Number 3, submit your discernment to wise counsel. Not every feeling is from God. Sometimes it's your wounds, your past, or your triggers. Run your discernment by trusted, mature people before you act on it. Number 4, use your gift to protect, not tear down. The gift of prophecy is meant to build up the body, protect the vision, and uphold truth. It's not meant to criticize, control, or condemn. When you use it to protect instead of attack, you become a powerful force for good. Here's your challenge this week. If you have the gift of prophecy, ask God to help you balance truth and love. Practice patience with people who don't see what you see. Use your discernment to protect and build up. If you don't have the gift, but work with someone who does, here's what you do. Listen to their discernment. They usually see something that you are missing. Don't dismiss them as too critical. They are protecting you. Create space for them to speak the truth, even if it's uncomfortable. Woo! I hope you learned a lot, but let me wrap it up right here. The gift of prophecy is not a burden. None of the gifts are. It's absolutely a gift, and when it's used right, it is beautiful. If you have it, steward it well. Balance truth with love. Use it to protect and not tear down. And if you don't have it, appreciate the people in your life that do. They're seeing things you need to see. Next week, we're diving into gift number 2, the gift of serving. You're not going to want to miss it. I love you. And as always, I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.